So John Blackstone joins us now from Ukiah with more on this. John, we've got this September 1st date. Does that mean that all this hard work that firefighters are putting in is actually paying off now?
Well, it seems to be. Certainly the Mendocino Complex fire here, there's two fires. The smaller of those fires, the river fire, is now 78% contained. It's really moving toward full containment. The larger ranch fire, however, has actually containment dropped slightly overnight. It's now down to, the latest figure is down to about 20% containment from 21% containment yesterday. Now it is growing largely in wilderness areas. It's not immediately threatening any communities, but certainly thousands of structures are still considered threatened because this fire remains unpredictable.
John, this is a 24-hour operation, and you spoke to us yesterday about, firefighter fatigue during this. I wonder if the mood has lifted a little now that it seems like, there is some progress.
Certainly, there was sort of good news and bad news yesterday. The bad news was that it was very smoky here, and that kept them from being able to use aircraft for much of the day to fight this fire because of the rough terrain. Aircraft are essential in fighting this. The good news is that smoke, in a way, kept the temperatures down here. It was somewhat cooler. That did help move forward with containment, made the work a little easier. The bad news, again, is that it looks like today it's going to be hotter, perhaps over 100 degrees in the area. That's going to make work difficult. So we've got good news and we've got bad news for the firefighters here.
And you mentioned several lines of defense are needed for firefighters. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Well, certainly when they're building these containment lines, on this fire, several times they thought we've got this area contained. We've got a solid line built. They bring in bulldozers. They knock down trees, clear out vegetation, try to make an area that can't be burned. Set up hoses along it to fight fire as it reaches that point. They also depend on rivers and roads as perhaps part of that containment. But again and again, this fire has managed to jump over those containment lines. So what they've been doing is they do one containment line a few yards away, make another containment line, try to keep the fire from jumping over. But when you have these tall plumes of smoke and ash and embers that rise hundreds of feet into the air sometimes, the wind picks that up. That can spread the fire over any containment that they've built. So that's how this fire has been growing at a fast pace until this point.
Yeah, you just cannot let up with a fire like this. You could take 10 steps forward and then 2 steps back. John Blackstone, thank you so much.